Hi there, I'm Peter Millard, and this is 10 Minute Workshop, where 10 minutes in the workshop is never enough, it's never 10 minutes, and it's never 10 minutes wasted. In the workshop this week, well, I've turned into a bit of a scavenger. I've found something, and I'm going to have a go at cleaning it up. That's coming up next. So, true story, I've been out to see a job locally, just walked around there, and on the way around I spotted a table in the street with a sign on it that says, "Please take me." I thought, maybe that might make an interesting little video or whatever. I'll see on my way back. Went to have a look at this job, took my measurements and all that, and it was still there. Of course, I was walking. So, came back to the workshop, got the van, went back there, still there. I picked it up, stuck it in the back of the van. That's okay. I thought, well, it would make an interesting project. Maybe I can, take it apart, see how it's made. That would be interesting. And then sort of do a nice refurb on it. In the meantime, of course, my daughter, it turns out that she's moving, and she's moving to an unfurnished flat apartment. Of course, her and her boyfriend have very little money and even less space, so a small table like this is pretty much ideal. So suddenly, rather than a more interesting grand project, this is just going to turn out to be a quick refurb, a very superficial, but worth doing, and I thought worth having a look at on a video as well. So this little table has almost nothing in the way of redeeming features, other than the fact that it has a nice please take me sign sticky tape to the top of it. We'll take that off. It's only little, it's about 1150 wide, 550 deep. Missing handle on this side. A couple of little drawers in it. I don't think these were hand-cut dovetails somehow. Solid bases though, and all a bit sort of scrappy and janky. And a bit rattly. There's a little bit of the trim missing here, and I don't think there's much I can do about that without deconstructing it entirely, which I'm not about to do. This is a bit sort of loosey-goosey here. We'll squeeze a bit of glue in that and get a clamp on there, see if we can't tighten that up a little bit, and if we can't, then we'll have to get in and pop a couple of pocket hole screws or something in there. But yeah, I mean, it's really just going to be a clean-up job. Take the worst of the muck and rubbish off the top. There's a bit of trim missing on the back here, and plenty of paint or putty or something around here as well, so we give that a clean up too. But otherwise, it's a glorified sanding job. I think if it was mine, I'd probably paint the legs and stain the top or something, but it's not mine, so we'll give it a quick once over with a sander and see what lies beneath. So yeah, it's interesting. Got the table flipped over on its top, and the top is just glued together. Obviously, boards glued together. There's a single screw holding this centre section in place, and that itself is just nailed through this front section here. There you go. And presumably through the back here as well. So yeah, not a huge amount going on there in terms of construction. So with those out of the way, I can actually get into this a bit more, and that's just doweled in place, I think. Unless that's a screw. That's a dowel, I think. So okay, we can open that up a little bit. Get a spreader on that, maybe get the dowel all the way out. Get some glue spread around in there. And get that clamped up nice and tight. And get this fixed back in as well then. So yeah, interesting to see how this is constructed actually. Terribly simple. Normally with a top like this it'd be held on with buttons to give the timber room to move, but it's all glued in, so I don't think this is going to go anywhere. So this central divider, these little snips support the drawers. We've got the same at the sides here, and these are just nailed in place and not connected to the side aprons at all. You've got the leg subframe, and then there's this sort of piece around the edge here, and that goes all the way into the insides, and I assume that this piece and this are joined together at the top, that may be screwed or nailed through from the other side, and then the top is fitted onto this, and the top is just screwed. The screwdriver, which I had 2 seconds ago. The top is just screwed through the sides here. A few missing screws here and there. Now a piece of this is split and broken off, but to get at that is, means taking everything apart. So not on this job. On the original job I might have done that, but not when we need a quick and functioning table the day after tomorrow. So, but it's interesting to see how it was put together. Very, very simple. No, nothing sophisticated at all. So I'm really just waiting for that glue to set a little bit in there, and I can get the back screwed in again. This rear apron is just pinned again from the other side to this sort of subframe, and I think I'll have to just pop a couple of pins in, or screws in from this side, just to give it a bit of extra support, and then start sanding, I think. Okay, so with everything screwed together a bit more successfully, screwed and glued, I'm just going to try sanding the underside of this just to see how it looks, the bits that don't show basically. Okay, well, there's a very quick answer. It's not bad at all, actually. Yeah, okay. Quick rub down and a coat of wax on that will come up very nicely. Okay, so when it comes to the top, fairly obviously I don't want to take away the sort of rich pattern of age, but what I do want to get rid of is all the bits of crappy paint spatter and whatever. There's not much I can do about these, or whatever that is spilled. Could be blood, could be red wine, could be ink. I don't know how deep that goes. I'm not trying to turn this into a new table. We want it to look, suitably aged. I don't know if there's any chance of it looking anything other than that. But we just want to clean this up a little bit, get rid of the worst of these bits and pieces. So we'll give a good go at that with a sander, and we'll see what results.